हां 2 मिस झाले. ओके ओके ठीक आहे. लेट अस स्टार्ट. Okay, my introduction. My name is Anand Ghurye, BE Mechanical, BA in Linguistics, Masters in Management Studies, MA in Economics, MA in Political Science, 18 years of industry experience. I do corporate training, life coaching, counseling and outbound training. I'm human resource developer. I apply ancient wisdom to modern problems. I got a background, as you saw, of economics, sociology and history, and I try to give simple examples from day-to-day life. I have numerous lecture demonstrations here and so many other places. These are some of the subjects, but on the net you will find at least 20 subjects that I have dealt with so far. Corporate training for executives, that is what I carry out. Special training for business owners, goal oriented training, large audience training or seminars. I am invited once in a while on TV for various topics connected with ancient wisdom. These are some of my clients. Okay. I got 5 books to my credit, all based on ancient wisdom, connected to ancient wisdom one way or the other. And forthcoming book is Neuro Dynamic Programming or Neuro Dynamic Management, which is connected to the subject that we are going to talk today. So I begin with thanking you, all of you, Help Library and myself, because 3 of us are making this possible. Yeah. Okay. So neurodynamic programming or neurodynamic management. We'll see what this term means first. Neuro is nerves, dynamic is continuous movement, that is dynamic, and programming is a systematic way of action. So neurodynamic programming or neurodynamic management is the continuous and systematic way the nerves and other things work in our body. That ancient wisdom for modern problems, and today's topic, because we have already had 3 lectures on the same topic. So now what we are going into is application of the techniques. So today what I will be doing is I will be going through the introduction faster, and then we'll go to the application. One of the applications of neurodynamic management is how to lose fat. Yeah. And anytime at the end of the lecture you can ask whatever questions you have. Okay. What is neurodynamic management or neurodynamic programming? It means that brain, body and mind are intimately, synchronously and integratively, simultaneously connected. So your brain, mind and body, these 3 are not separate. They work as if they are one entity and they are intimately connected. Okay. Again, there is no hierarchy as such amongst these. Sometimes the brain might be the leader, sometimes the body might be the leader, sometimes the mind might be the leader. Expressions, gestures, words, everything is directly connected to brain mechanism and state of mind. Expressions or gestures are body does the gestures. Yeah, whatever gestures I do, whatever way I stand is directly connected to my mind and directly connected to the brain. So by looking at the gestures, by looking at the body, we can make certain assumptions about the state of the mind or state of the brain. Now NDM can be used to improve our lives in all areas, improving health, changing habits, improving concentration, dealing with stress, etc., etc. This is the body reaction that we had done some time back in the first lecture. What we had told people was to close their eyes and just imagining is brain or imagining is mind. So just imagine that there is a weight connected to one hand and there is a balloon connected to another hand, and in just 1 minute's time you can see that the hands have started going up and down, and there is a huge difference between the two. Another interesting thing is these 2 ladies who are sitting behind, their hands did not go up or down, but later on they reported that their hands were paining. Because they had resisted the brain, the body had resisted the brain, they had said, how can this happen? That's why there was a pain induced, whereas they had not done anything physical. Holding your hands like this is not a physical exercise. That will make you pain. But it pain because you are opposing something that brain wanted to do. The brain wanted to do it, the body was opposing. Okay. This is a common example that we give to illustrate the difference in reactions. Just consider that you have gone to a hotel and you have had a soup, a nice soup that you feel nice, etc., etc., etc. But unknown to you, there has been some stale factor in that soup. Some item in that soup is stale. So you go home 3, 4, 5 hours later, you start vomiting. Yeah, that is food poisoning and you start vomiting. This is the effect is body and the reason is body. The reason is physical, effect is physical. Okay, the reason is something is stale, something is not good for the body has consumed it, the effect is physical, physical effect is vomiting. Let's consider the second example. You go to the same restaurant, have similar food, same kind of soup, you enjoy it thoroughly, it is very delicious, and in the last spoon you see a big cockroach, okay, and you vomit. Now in this case what is happening is the food has not caused any, maybe there is a problem with the soup, but it has not caused any problem to the body as such. Whereas the brain has got a nauseous reaction to the cockroach, and it has ordered the body to vomit. So this is what will be called as brain reaction. Here the reason is not physical, reason is brain, but the result is physical. Okay. Now say you go to the same restaurant again. I mean, I don't know why you should keep on going to the same restaurant again and again, but just consider that you go to the same restaurant, have a very delicious soup and all, and nothing is wrong in the soup, no cockroach in the last spoon, etc., etc. You enjoy, you go home. After 3 or 4 days later, you meet a friend of yours, and at that time you talk about this soup at this restaurant, and you say, oh, that was such a delicious soup. And he says, oh, I know that restaurant, and that is a beef soup, and you are a strict vegetarian. Now what happens, it has been eaten 2-3 days back, but you get that body reaction again and you vomit. Now in this case neither the brain nor the body are directly involved, because the effect has, the food has come into your body and it has gone out. It is your mental concept that this kind of food is bad, and that mental concept has created a physical reaction. So here the input is mind, output is still physical. So same physical input can be seen from any of these 3 areas, or any of these 3 combined, 2 of them combined, 3 of them combined, or single combined, and the result generally will be only body, because body result can be easily seen. Now interesting thing is, out of these 3, body is the easiest to access but most difficult to change. The brain is difficult to access, easier to change, brain is in between, and mind most difficult to access but easiest to change. Okay, that is the qualification. Now another thing is, if you want to access one of them, the path goes to the other 2. Okay, if you want to change the brain, the path goes to the body and mind. If you want to change the body, the path goes to brain and mind. So this way these are connected. What is the utility of neurodynamic programming? To find easier ways to connect the body, mind and brain, to improve your understanding, retention, empathy and health, to create and maintain success habits, and to understand and utilize our potential to the maximum. These are the reasons, or these are the utilities that neurodynamic programming gives us. The cycle of NDM is observe, then holistically understand, then synthesize the details, experiment and feedback. So we have to observe what is happening, we have to understand it holistically in all its facets, then we have to synthesize all the factors, this is there, this is there, this is there, this is there, this is there. Experiment and then get the feedback, oh, this is what happens to me when I do this, and then again the cycle continues. Okay, this way we access the body, mind, brain, all of them, and we continue to improve on ourselves by experimenting on ourselves. This is not experimentation on somebody else, this is experimentation on our own body, our own mind, our own brain. Okay, so we'll see what are the common office worker problems. These are some of the problems that a common office worker faces. Wrist pain, lower back pain, spondylitis, joint pains, constipation, eye strain, food poisoning, lung problems, blood pressure, headache. Okay, what is the reason? The reason generally that is given is that he is sitting there for whole day, 8 hours, 8, 10, 15 hours a day. He is looking into that monitor. He is sitting in AC atmosphere, etc., etc., etc. These are the basic reasons given. He doesn't get exercise. As far as neurodynamic management is concerned, none of this is the reason. These are symptoms, none of this is the reason. This is the way a person sits, and this is the way he is working. So various things are given, that the seat, there is a whole science how to make that seat comfortable, that is called as ergonomic. Yeah, there is a whole science which makes the workplace comfortable. In case of NDM, we go the other way around. What we say is, when do you sit like this? Yes. See, this is something that is a constricting kind of posture. Your shoulders are inside, your neck is down, your back is at the rear side, I mean this way, and you are hunching over this. So when in natural climate or natural surroundings, when will you sit like this? You will sit like this when you are worried, and worry is the cause of all problems. And as a result of which, the more see the problem here, what is the general way that you should be, what are the remedies that are given for this kind of problem is, keep a distance of about 12 inches from the monitor, have a comfortable chair, yeah, have good lighting, keep on moving at every 10-15 minutes, look at a long distance so that your eyes will not be tired, etc., etc., etc. What NDM says is the other way around. The problem is not because of your sitting, problem is not because of eye strain, problem is not because of the posture, problem is because of thinking, because this is a posture which you take when you are worried. So far as you take this posture, the moment you take this posture, you are going to be worried. The longer you hold this posture, the more the problems are going to be. At the same time, just think about it, broaden your shoulders like this, increase your shape or increase your size, and then worry. You will not be able to, because the gesture is directly connected to the brain. A person with a broadened shoulders or shoulders which are thrown back, you will not see crying, because that emotion does not match with that gesture. So by changing that gesture or changing that emotion, that gesture will change, or by changing that emotion, the gesture will change. So in this case, we need to understand that it is not, the office worker problems are not because of all these physical factors, but the one main factor, which is the worry. Yeah. So this is how you will see closed stance, bent stance, crouching body, tense muscles, continuously loaded joints, unnatural positions. And this is what we do when we are worried, when we are tense. And now you will see that the problems are occurring because you are tense for that 8 hours, you are worried for that 8 hours. So the resolution or the solution to this problem will be exactly opposite. The more uncomfortable the chair, the better. Okay. The more backsliding the chair, the better. The more open stance the chair will give, the better. Open stance chair is a chair without arms. Yeah. And you will be surprised to know that in in Yugoslavia, there is a factory which manufactures explosives. Yeah, and this factory has been in operation for last 125 years. And in 125 years, there has not been a single major accident in this explosives factory. In an explosive factory, accidents are common, and accidents happen because of human error. Okay, the one single reason that is cited for no accidents in this factory are that all workers there are given a stool which has got which has got only one foot. The stool has got only 1 foot. So as a result of which, when they are sitting, they have to balance themselves on their own 2 feet. The moment their concentration is lost, the moment they are looking somewhere else, they are likely to fall down. So these workers, they are completely concentrating on their job all through.
Always alert.
Always alert. Yeah. Okay. Some of the techniques are H meditation, progressive muscle relaxation, achievement rehearsal cycle, non-dominant skill practice. This is some of the techniques that we have demonstrated here. The H meditation we have demonstrated here. The one that was shown was progressive muscle relaxation, and there is shadow boxing that will be most probably will be taking today. Yeah. Okay, now we come to today's topic. This was what general idea of what neurodynamic management, brain, body, mind synchronization. Okay. Now today's topic is think and lose fat. This is the data given here. Height is 5 feet 2 inches, weight is 100 kgs, arms 44 inches, chest 56 inches, thighs 50 inches. Good, bad, ugly? You tell me. Just bad. Unhealthy. Okay. Yes, sir. Bad. Okay. At the age for 5 feet 2 inches, the charts give the weight to be about 60 kilos. So supposedly this person is about 40 kilos overweight. Yeah, at least by 40% overweight. The other dimensions basically are showing that a person is hefty or pleasantly plump, whatever way you want to say. Okay, so now let's see both of them. So is it good, bad, ugly? Both of them have the same dimensions. The dimensions given are the same. The height is same, the weight is same, the arms are same, chest is same, thighs are same. Good, bad, ugly.
Waist is not there.
Waist is not given. So it was not given before also.
Which is the true dimension.
Yeah. So what the point that we are trying to drive here is weight is not bad. It is a relative dimension. It is a relative category. It is not bad. The only difference between this lady and this man is the fat. The weight is same, so weight is not the culprit, the fat is. So when we talk about weight loss, actually we are not talking about weight loss. Weight loss is negative term. We are talking about losing fat, or we are talking about going from that shape to this shape. Yeah, and as you see that is a serious health risk, and this is not a serious health risk. Yeah, even if the charts, because this person is having so much of muscle mass that it cannot be restricted in the standardized chart. That's why you see that this person has overweight. He is not overweight because his fat percentage in the body would be less than what we have. Yeah. Okay. So the point is the fat is the problem. Now, why does the fat come up? Simple formula: input greater than consumption creates fat. We require certain amount of energy which we get from food. If we take more energy and less energy is expended, the remaining energy is stored somewhere in the body, and that somewhere in the body, the way it is stored in the body is by way of fat. Now, where does this input come from? It comes from food, which can be junk food, rich food, easy food, etc., etc. That is the input. What is the consumption? Exercise, activity. and thought. These are the three things which will consume the energy. And these are the foods, any kind of food that you eat, it is going to some point of time, it is going to be converted to fat if it is not utilized completely. So if you are eating say 4500 calories and you are not utilizing all of them, whatever is remaining, maybe 500 calories, every day those 500 calories will go into storage somewhere, because body is again a very beautiful mechanism. It says that the brain has told me to eat, I am eating, it is going in and I have to store it somewhere. So that gets turned into fat. So our problem is in basic, whenever there is input is greater than consumption, then fat formation takes place. And as we saw earlier, fat is the problem, not the weight per se. Okay. And just think about it, today fat is the number one problem in the US, even in India. Young boys and girls who are about 12 years age, they become that kind of people. This lady is not even 23. Yeah. So that is the kind of problem that occurs. Generally, what is this attributed to is that today's children or today's people have very less activities. They have all these video games, mobile games, etc., etc., and also they are feeding on McDonald's. Yeah. So McDonald's, what you have is a burger, chips and burger, and that one meal is having about 4500 calories. So this is equivalent to 3 meals. So if you eat 3 burgers in a day, you are effectively having 9 meals. And if you are going to play video games and so on and so forth, then there is the output is reduced. So the output is reduced and input is way too high. So naturally, supposedly, children put on weight. This is the common thought. This is the common thought, that because these children are not doing any activity or any physical activity, that's why they are becoming fat. So far, so good. You are agreeing with me till this. Right. Okay. Now, what we are looking at is some people who are doing zero physical activity. Anybody recognizes these people? Very famous people, all of them. Boris Spassky, Bobby Fischer, Anatoly Karpov, and Kasparov. Okay, all of them were chess champions, chess world champions at some point of time. What do chess world champions do, or what do chess players do? Think. Whole day long they are just sitting. Physical activity is zero. Physical activity is zero. The whole day they are hunching, just like that office worker who is hunching on his on his monitor. These people are hunching on their chess boards all day long. And these photos have been taken at least 10 to 15 years after their retirement from the game. So none of them, you can see, none of them is young. All of them are old. But none of them has put on any weight. In fact, only Anatoly Karpov, who is here, is slightly plump. Otherwise, the rest of the three are very thin. And just consider, they are coming from countries. One is coming from America, other three are coming from Russia, which is known for fatness. Because the kind of food that they eat is consisting of huge amount of meat and huge amount of other calories. Yes, cheese and milk products and wheat and whatnot. But vodka, yes, that is added. That is added. But of course, vodka doesn't have so many calories, so that may not aid to the fat. But you can see that at least 10 to 20 years, he is almost 30 years into retirement, and still he has not put on any weight. And you can just see the kind of food he is eating. All kind of fats he is eating. Okay, and none of these people is seen to be physical. Still, they are not putting on weight. The reason is simple, that the concentration, intense concentration that they have to put in, they are used to that, and that is a physical activity that their brain does, and our brain consumes maximum amount of calories during the day or during the night for that matter, and as a result of which they have not put on any weight. Okay. So now coming back to the students, so far we were concentrating on their food and their activity. What we are not concentrating on, what do they do in the school? In the school, if you see the school curriculum, there is nothing to think. There is something only to be by-hearted and then regurgitated. And for that also, you got teachers, you got parents, you got classes, you got guides, and you got what? Micro guides, and so on and so forth. So the child does not have to think. He does not have to do any mental activity. Everything is spoon fed. Exactly. And because of that, because there is no mental activity, he puts on weight, and not because there is no physical activity. Huge difference the two things are making. Because he does not have any because he does not have any mental activity, he does not have to think, he gets used to all kind of passive things. What is he watching? He is watching TV. What is he playing? In TV, when you are watching TV, you can't even think because it is audio visual. Your ears are, all your five senses are fixed to the TV screen, and you are just taking in. That's why you will see that a student who cannot sit for studies for 20 minutes, for when the serials are on, he watches from 6 to 9 or even 9 to 12, 5, 6, 7 hours when the match is going on, for that matter. They are watching the TV continuously for 8 hours. And what is watching TV? It is just a passive exercise. You are just taking in and taking in. Forget about what you are eating with it, but you are not thinking.
And in thinking also there is no creative thinking.
Yeah, there is no thinking at all. So forget about creativity. And as George Bernard Shaw had said, that most people think that they think,
Yes.
but they actually don't. Yeah, and by thinking twice or thrice a week, I have made a fortune for myself. That is what George Bernard Shaw used to say. He used to say people think maybe 2 or 3 times a year, and he thinks 2 or 3 times a week. Okay, so that kind of thinking, because there is no thinking going on, they put on weight. Yeah, and now you can connect the fat to the intellectual laziness and not to the physical laziness. Now you can mentally see what are the new things you have. What is mental alacrity? Is learning something new, doing something new, understanding something new, doing something in a new way, doing something in a way that you have not done before, going to a place that you have not gone to before. How many of these things you have done in the last 1 month? If you are not done, then you are added to the fat. How many of these things your children have done in the last 1 or 2 months? If they have not, then they are adding to the fat. Okay, because there is no mental activity, and it's the brain which is following everything else. So only if they were mentally agile, they will have no problem. Okay, one of the main areas of agility or non-agility is the mental area, and your thoughts drive everything else. Because your thoughts drive everything else, this is the result that comes in. Now there is additional input, additional consumption, or additional input of food or calories into the body. It is coming in, it has to be kept somewhere, and where it is kept, it is stored someplace. So it is, storage is like this. Now the storage will depend on your body type or your mental type. In case of some people, the storage here, this is typically called as beer belly. Okay, this is where all the fat is stored on the thighs. Yeah, thighs and the middle body. Here everything is on the thighs. Here the whole body. Yes, and here the arms, here the handles, and here you will see that the midrib. Now how does body decide where to keep the fat, additional fat? The body is a beautiful mechanism. What the body will do is, it cannot throw the fat out. So in your house, if you got some luggage which you cannot throw out, where will you keep it? Empty space which is not disturbed. Exactly. Yes. empty space which is not disturbed. There is, of course, there is no
Not
empty
visible
space,
also.
not visible from their point of view. Yeah. In this case, the fat will be stored in an area of the body which is not utilized. So the area of the body which is not getting exercise, the body will decide that this is a good area for storage of fat. So let me store the fat here. Needless to say, this person does not move at all. Sedentary lifestyle. The sedentary lifestyle is not creating fat, but the sedentary lifestyle is telling the body or telling the brain where to send that fat. Okay, so the person who is not exercising the arms or not using arms much, it will go there. The person who is not using the thighs much, it will go there. There is also emotional counterpart. Emotional counterpart is taken here. Yeah, in case of people who are worried, the liver will be acting less, liver will be less active. In case of some other people, the thyroid will be less active, etc., etc., etc. Yeah, but forget about it, that will be taking in the next lecture. The emotional counterpart will be taking in the next lecture. Here what we can see is the part that is not disturbed will receive all the fat. And now you will see that because this part is not disturbed, what happens is when you start exercising or when you start doing physical activity, this part is still not disturbed. Exactly, because it is anyway out of sight, out of mind, and the term out of mind fits here exactly. Because it is out of mind, once the luggage is there, luggage remains there. But if you use NDM, the mind, and bring it into the mind, this part will start reducing, and that is where the part of shadow boxing comes in. Yeah, shadow boxing or visualization, mental visualization of exercise, exercising that particular part comes in. It is not necessary that the fat will only reduce from there, but it is definite that it will start reducing at some point of time. And you will see that your brain or your body really does not know whether you are exercising or not. It only understands what your brain tells you or brain tells the body. So if the brain is telling or the mind is telling the body that we are exercising, we are exercising, we are exercising, I am walking, I am walking, I am walking, yeah, the body will feel that it is walking. In fact, knees will start paining, the calves also might start paining. It is, I mean, you have seen the visualization exercise right in the beginning. They were only visualizing that there is a weight attached to one hand and there is a light, some helium balloon is attached to another hand, and the hand started paining. That is the example of shadow boxing. Okay, but at the same time, what you have to do is, in case of shadow boxing or any case of this, it is not fooling the body, but you should actually visualize and you should actually have done that exercise. Otherwise, in your mind, you can go from here to Dombioli in a second and come back. No exercise. You can run in the marathon, still there is no exercise. But if you walk to the station from here, or if you walk say 2 kilometers, then you sit down, and today, tomorrow, day after, you visualize the walk, then there will be exercise for the body. So you can walk one day, for example, when it is raining, you may not want to go out and walk. That day, you can stay indoors and visualize the same walk that you are doing, and you will get the same kind of exercise. Okay, scientifically proven. Yeah, it is scientifically proven.
You actually lose weight also?
Absolutely, absolutely.
As though you really walked?
Pardon?
As though you like if you were to really walk, you would raise your BMR, and that would lead to some weight loss, fat loss.
Yes.
But even if you just visualize
Yes.
without lifting a finger,
Yes,
it will lead
absolutely. Try it
to the
out.
same result.
I am here for the next month. So try it for 30 days.
And this has
Give us your
been
result.
true for sick person.
Yes,
This
yes.
has been true for sick person.
This has been proven that even if you mentally exercise, you get almost 80% of the result that you would be getting regularly. Yes, BMR automatically increases. In fact, just think about it, when you are sitting in a sauna, what is actually happening? When you are sitting in the sauna, you are just sitting. There is only the heat in the room is going up. The steam in the room is going up. the temperature is going up. But if you see your heartbeat is going up. It is as if you are standing on that walker, or it is as if you are doing an anaerobic exercise. And if you got enough water in the body, then you are definitely going to lose weight. In fact, one of my friends, he was not believing in this. I'll just give the example. He had gone for this Swami Ramdev's lecture and so on. And Ramdev had said that when you do the Kapalbhati, you start losing weight. Yeah. This fellow, he weighed himself on a very sensitive balance, and then after 2 hours of this meditation, that Kapalbhati and so on, he weighed himself again 30 grams less. Okay, immediate. The result was immediate. So there is definitely this kind of thing that happens. Try it out, because as we said right in the beginning, in this case the experimenter and experiment are you yourself. So you try it out and let us know the result next time. So you would be part of that experimental group. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So NDM application of think and lose weight. What is it? One is intense mental activity, active mental posture. Okay. What is intense mental activity? Intense mental activity is like puzzle solving, something that Sudoku or any kind of puzzle which will require
Brain teasers.
yes, brain teasers. Yeah, playing chess definitely.
How about reading?
Pardon? Reading, what kind of reading? If you are reading comics, then you don't require concentration, you don't require connection. But if you are
contemplating, then
applying your mind.
yes, so if you are reading a scientific journal, a doctor reading a scientific journal is definitely intense activity, because he is continuously thinking, this is right, this is wrong, this is okay, this is not, this is something that I can use in my practice, is this the way it is happening or not, so on and so forth. So far as you think when you are reading, yes,
reading non-fictional like self-help books.
yes, and the bigger the book the better, because more connection you have to have. Whereas in case of WhatsApp messages and all, there is no connection. You can read 100 messages in 2 minutes and you are just going through. You have got no emotional attachment to that, and you have no physical activity, no mental activity. In fact, I have seen people going through maybe 20, 30, 40 WhatsApp jokes before they start laughing. Because there are so many jokes around that they don't find these jokes any more interesting. ये तो पढ़ा है, ये तो मालूम है, ये तो है, whatever. So then there is no activity, there is no mental activity. In fact, because of this reason, people using mobile phones more are going to be having much more fat in their body. Okay, and even the arthritic, what they call as arthritic thumb and so on and so forth. These diseases are there because they are doing it mechanically. And if you are doing it mechanically, then there is.
One day this will be damaging our brain also.
Yes, true. Okay,
But
and
actually, they say this causes a lot of stress. People are continuously checking their email, WhatsApp.
yeah,
They're
yes,
continuously checking.
when
But you said there is no engagement, there is no it's just something that is very distant. But actually, it is not.
no, you are mixing up the things. Having stress does not mean doesn't have anything to do with not having engagement. Having stress is something else. Like I am thinking about why I am not getting a Facebook update, why am I not getting a signal. This is only worry. In fact, this is yes. This is something that we have taken in the first lecture, very first lecture. That what is happening is, why do people intensely eat or keep on eating? We had done this exercise in the first lecture, that if your intestine elongates, you feel happy. If the stomach distends, that is elongates, you feel happy. How will it descend? When you eat something, by eating at least 20 grams, 30 grams. Do you realize the reason about repeated eating, continuously eating? The feeling of happiness that comes in prods them to eat. Yeah, now you see on the left hand I am doing this WhatsApp, I am getting stressed, I want to feel relaxed. By the right hand I am going to reach out for a Pepsi or a Coke or French fry or something else. And then what is the result? This is the result. So stress is not thinking. In fact, stress is there because you are not thinking. Okay. So active listening, even in your case, as just now, you can observe your posture. Is that of active listening? Is that posture of active listening or not active listening? If it is active listening, then you will be having a different posture. If it is not active listening, you will have a different posture. Concentration. In case of chess players, there is extreme concentration. In case of yogis, there is extreme concentration. In case of spiritual leaders, there is extreme concentration when they are doing the sadhana. Yeah, that concentration itself is enough. Yeah. For solving puzzles, visualization. Visualization is, as I said, the exercise, visualizing the walk, visualizing the lifting the weights and so on and so forth. And lastly, it is non-dominant skill practice. So for example, if you are right-handed, if you start using your left hand for doing something, for example, try using your left hand for washing your teeth. Try using your left hand for writing. Try using your left hand for what you are not using your left hand. You will have to concentrate on that, and that activity will be governed by the brain. So brain will be getting that activity, and when the brain gets that activity, there is an intense mental activity. And the last is shadow boxing. Shadow boxing is similar to visualization, but the difference between shadow boxing and visualization is, in case of shadow boxing, you are doing an activity that you have done before. In case of visualization, it may not be so. So for example, if you want to feel pleasant, you might think in terms of, in case of visualization, you might think in terms of going to Switzerland, enjoying in that area, feeling cold, so on and so forth. You may not have gone there. In case of shadow boxing, you got to have gone there. Then what you are doing is something that you have done before, you are repeating mentally, recreating in your mind. Okay. So now test for you. Reduce passivity, increase activity is the thing. TV, what is it? Passivity, activity.
Passive.
Yes. Newspaper.
Almost passive.
Yes, passive and negative. Because the most news which comes over there is negative. Yes. And newspaper reading is positive activity only for editor. Because he is intensely looking for mistakes, intensely looking for connections or disconnections, and so on and so forth. So unless you are an editor, newspaper reading is a negative activity or passive activity. Movie.
Sometimes,
Yes. Movie more or less passive activity, but you have to go to the movie theater, so that much movement is there. So as compared to the TV, it is active.
And if by seeing movie,
Yeah.
if you are thinking,
Yes.
like say, take the case of oh my god.
Okay. Yes.
Suppose that concept is there, you start thinking.
Yes. Yes. So a minority. Yes. But as far as the majority is concerned, if you are seeing Salman Khan killing 60 people, yeah, then it is still passive and violent. Yeah. Then computer games, completely passive. Yeah, because this is pre-programmed, and you feel that you are, in fact, this is the reason why children have these arithmetic thumbs. Because whatever is going on in the screen is fixed. They know the results. They know that this is the point that they are going to go down. This is the point that they are going to collect some ammunition, etc., etc., etc. So still it is passive. There is no thinking involved. There is only physical activities involved. The brain is resting. Our brain is not even relaxed. Brain is stressed. How can I go to the next level? Internet surfing. Depending on what you want to do.
Right.
If you are looking for something, then it is active. Otherwise, if you are just looking for pictures, just looking around, then it is passive. Writing an article, very active. Because in case of writing an article, you got to collect the information, you got to collate it, you got to connect it, and then make something out so that the other people can understand it. So it is a huge exercise, and people who are writing articles, many times they have to go through draft after draft to make it simple. And some of the people, some of the writers, that's why you will see that many of the writers also are very thin. Think of writers. How many writers can you think of who are plump? Very few. Yeah. Through the ages you can think of writers, and most of them you will see are very thin. Because of this reason, they have to make draft, they have to connect to the audience, they have to continuously keep on thinking. Reading a book, in between, depends on what the book is, depends on what the person is looking at. Observing traffic,
Sometimes it is a learning.
yes,
Both way.
Both ways.
both ways. If you are watching it passively, it is passive, but there is another way which is called as vipassana, that, whereas observing traffic without making any comment on it is also invigorating, because it is letting your brain rest. So in fact, even if the brain rests, that is also consuming energy, that is also part, in a way it is also part of thinking. Okay. It is activity without activity. Yeah. Any regular activity,
Regular doesn't
passive.
passive.
Any regular activity is passive, and that is why any regular activity done mechanically does not give you any health benefit. Just think about it. We keep on talking about walking is the best exercise. Walking reduces heart problems, walking reduces blood cholesterol, walking makes your blood move faster, etc., etc., etc. In that case, postman will have no problems. Every postman is walking at least 10, 15, 20 kilometers a day.
Not putting his mind in that.
Exactly, exactly. He is doing it mechanically. So any regular activity that you do mechanically stops giving you the benefit of mental activity. It is physical activity, yes, but that physical activity is done totally without any mental strain, because it is done mechanically. In fact, the body keeps wearing out and you don't get any health benefit out of it. Okay. Summary: neurodynamic management is synchronized and simultaneous working of brain, body and mind. Weight is not the problem, fat is. We saw the picture. More the activity, lesser the fat accumulation. Keep yourself active mentally. If you remain mentally active, rest of the things will follow. Okay. Thank you very much. That's where we end the presentation.